Another set. We're going from Anchor Hocking, that's been around since 1905, American company. How about let's go to Zwilling J.A. Henckels 7piece self-sharpening knife block set. Now this is a family-owned, it's a German company that's been around since 1731. 1731, it goes way, way back. And these knives, this will be never dull. It will be the most razor sharp knife that you own, and they're beautiful. They're absolutely exquisite. You're getting basically 5 knives. So, and each on this Asher block, it's marked. So you're gonna get a serrated utility knife. I'm gonna put that out. You're going to get another utility knife. Let's call that your steak knife. You're going to get a paring knife to do all of your, just fruits and vegetables. You're also going to get your big chef knife. So let me just put that out on the table. And then you're gonna get your Santoku knife. And every time I take that out, I want you to I'm gonna be quiet for a minute. I want you to listen. I mean, and let me do it with one of the knives. When you take this out, do you hear that? It's sharpening it every time. And I'm so glad that you also get some shears. So you get the 5 knives that you need, and you also get your wonderful shears, and then you get this beautiful ash block, okay? So I'm not the most graceful, but these are going to be the sharpest knives. And everybody knows that when you have a knife that is dull, it's very, very dangerous. So I'm being very careful because these are razor sharp. But it's every knife that you need, and look at how beautiful this block is. Do you see how gorgeous that is? And every time you put these in here, I think that's wonderful. They're going to sharpen. So it's just fantastic. I wanna bring in John Florell because we had this as a today's special. He hit it out of the park. Today, this is $99.95. You save $30 off the HSN price, but it's normally $180 retail, so you're saving $80 off the retail. And John, this company, is this like, don't chefs just kind of put this up here like they say it's the best knife you can use?
Yeah, ask any chef. We're a world-renowned cutlery company, the gold standard really in kitchen cutlery. And the reason is we started it all. I mean, if you look up the heritage of the chef's knife, okay? Just Google it. It'll tell you, it goes all the way back to the J.A. Henckels Knife Company in Germany. Now, this quality, I mean, when you see this symbol, that means quality. And again, chefs worldwide know the quality of our knives. When you see our knives in the stores, they're the ones that are behind lock and key in the glass cases that you have to ask assistants to see, because when you see the price tag on them in the stores, you'll see why they're behind lock and key. But this set it's an amazing set for an amazing value. This is beautiful ash wood. That's stained beautifully. It looks great on any kitchen countertop. The stainless steel cap has the sharpeners built in, so you'll never have a dull knife again. You see, Debbie, what happens with kitchen knives, I mean, all new knives are sharp. And this one is no exception. All you do is touch it, and it cuts it. I mean, they're razor sharp. And they should be sharp. I mean, it's brand new. The problem with kitchen knives is when you're cutting on your countertop, your cutting board, a plate, or a dish, what happens to that knife blade? It hits your cutting board.
Right.
And that's what ends up dulling your knives over time. So when you're chopping, slicing, dicing, every time that knife hits the countertop or cutting board, it starts to dull it a little bit. And over time, that's why we end up with a drawer full of dull kitchen knives. And that's where Zwilling Henckels has come up with the brilliant idea of putting knife sharpeners in the storage block that sits out on your counter. Every time you replace this knife into that block and then take it back out again, it sharpens. And it not only sharpens your knife, like we've all seen knife sharpeners like this before, Debbie, right?
Right.
Where you have to get the right angle. You need to be a professional chef to use a knife sharpener like this.
Absolutely.
And most people can't. In fact, the average person can only get a knife back to about 65 to 70% of its original sharpness. A professional knife sharpener might be able to get a knife back to 80% of its original sharpness. We've designed this block with the sharpening stones inside that will give you the precise sharpness. I mean, up to 95% of original factory sharpness. And that's why every time you take this knife out, Debbie, it's going to cut like the very first day that you bought the knife. Today, tomorrow, next week, next year, that knife is going to stay and remain razor sharp. So every time you use this knife, it's going to cut like the first day you bought it. And
Wow.
that's what makes this set so special. And again, that's what sets us apart from every other. Debbie, we're the oldest brand in the world when it comes to kitchen cutlery.
Oh, absolutely.
1731.
I
Yeah.
mean, 1731, I mean, if you know of any other companies, I mean, hit me up on my social media, Debbie Dunman, HSN. I don't know of very many companies that have been around since 1731 and still they get rave reviews. This is a huge customer pick, you guys. And I hope that you try it. The longevity of this company, you can trust it, and you will never have a dull, dangerous knife. So think about the holidays when you need to carve the turkey. If you are barbecuing all the time and you want to, you know, basically make it really easy to give everybody the perfect rib, a slice of brisket. And I just think it's a great giftable too if you want to give this as a housewarming gift. This is only $19.99 to get home a knife that will sharpen every time you take it out of this beautiful ash block. It's ash wood, and this block is gorgeous, and it's just really, really simple. So that if you want to cut, you know, just a simple, you know, something like this with orange juice, and you want to have fresh orange juice, and it just cuts so easily. You're not having to saw it. You just one little cut and you're done, okay? And I know that I'm not a professional, and they're probably cringing like Debbie needs to put down the knife, but I don't pretend to be John Florell, but it is so easy. It actually is more dangerous when you have a dull knife. So I invite you to order right now because this is the best. All of the professional chefs, this is what they use, restaurants use, and the fact that you said it's under lock and key at those high-end department stores, and for a reason. You don't want to have to pay $180 for this set when you can pay $99 today.
It's the quality, Debbie, and when you see our knives, the quality of our knives are absolutely unbelievable. This is completely 100% stainless steel. It's high carbon stainless. It's a full tang, which means the same steel on the tip of the knife runs all the way through the handle and is a piece of the heel of the knife, which is weighted for balance. I mean, you won't find a more balanced, beautiful knife. This beautiful triple riveted design, which is the most popular design of handle in the world. And again, every time you move that knife, it's going to cut like a razor blade. But I got to tell you, again, we mention it all the time. Everybody has tried to use a dull knife before because we've all got a drawer full of dull knives. When you cut through your food, it could be chicken bone, ham bone, lamb bone. Maybe it's an avocado that you hit the avocado pit, and this will slice right through it. But it doesn't matter how many bones, cutting boards, whatever it is that knife touches, it still will be sharpened when you put it away. So every time you replace it back into that knife block,
right?
And I'm going to mention this, our chef's knife is the thickness of the blade and the precision of the sharp edge is set at a perfect 15 degrees, okay? This knife block is set at 15 degrees for the chef's knife. That's why we can tell you it'll sharpen it to 95% of its original factory sharpness. Our Santoku knife, it's a little thinner blade, and this one is sharpened to 11 degrees. So this sharpener in the Santoku slot is set at a perfect 11 degrees.
Wow.
So you're never having to guess, am I holding the knife right? What angle do I use? All you do is put it away, and the next time you grab that knife, it's going to be as sharp as the first day you used it. In fact, I can take this knife out. Look at this. Here's a bell pepper. I can slice a bell pepper paper thin in midair. I mean, you want to talk about razor sharp. But there's so many knives in this set too, Debbie. Here, let me move over here.
Okay.
Because even as a bread knife, now, chef's knives are made for carving. So if you're going to do a whole ham, a lamb, a roast beef, or a turkey, you can see how that's going to just cut like a razor blade. I mean, it's like a hot knife going through butter. It doesn't rip or tear, but that same knife, look at this, I can take a soft, fresh slice of brioche. If you want, look at this. I mean, you want to talk about razor sharp.
Wow.
All you do is move it. If your knives don't cut bread like that, you need a new set of knives.
Absolutely.
But what's great about this too is the set comes with all of the knives that you're going to love and use. Okay, like that utility knife, you're gonna love this for slicing, dicing, chopping, prepare. It's a little prep knife that you're gonna absolutely love. The paring knife that comes in the set. The paring knife is a perfect 3 inches, okay, a 3-inch paring knife. So for doing your decorating and garnishing, it has that beautiful, the same handle, so you have that comfort, the durability, and that precision. So you can do those fancy decorative cuts. You can also use that paring knife for paring, for peeling. But if you don't have a good set of kitchen shears yet, this is why you're going to love it. You'll use these in the kitchen for opening packages. You'll use it for using, for your carving twine. It's razor sharp. It's going to stay sharp. And it'll look at this. Next time your husband brings you home for absolutely no reason at all, a beautiful bouquet of flowers, you're going to love having those shears in the kitchen, because now before you put them in the vase or a vase, you can trim the stems. I mean, this is the most useful tool in the kitchen, and I think you'll agree once you start getting used to it.
Absolutely. You guys, $19.99 to get home the gold standard of knives. A company that's been around since 1731. I want you to place your order and see the difference. The fact that you're taking $30 off the HSN price, but the fact that you know, instead of spending $179 in retail, you're taking $80 off the retail. So this is a lifetime warranty. You have 30 days to cut up anything that you'd like, you know how hard it can be with a dull knife to do this, the cheese and the tomatoes, effortless. And I want you to try it and understand what the talk is all about with these professional chefs that use this knife. So $19.99 to get it home. And John, you did a fabulous job. I wish I could cut like you, the speed like you, but these are so safe, and it's the most comfortable handle, the most comfortable handle you're going to get. So thank you so much. He's going to continue cutting up and continue cooking, I'm sure.